Stock footage. Stock footage is an interesting topic. If you don't know what stock footage is, it's basically when you take pre-existing footage that you already filmed, and instead of filming something similar again, you just reuse it. There are many reasons why you may do this. Maybe you don't have the budget to record it again, maybe you don't have the certain materials to record it again, or maybe you're on a time constraint. Who knows? Thomas and Friends uses stock footage very often. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you every instance from season 1 to 7 of the show where they use stock footage. Let's begin. The first form of stock footage ever used in the show was in Edward, Gordon, and Henry. In this episode, Gordon rushes by with the express, and Sir Topham Hatt is shown sitting inside. But the scene of Sir Topham Hatt was also used in the previous episode, The Sad Story of Henry, when James was pulling some coaches. Although this shot wasn't seen in the episode, this shot was originally filmed for Edward and Gordon, but was later used for Thomas and the trucks. If you look really closely, you can see that Edward is smiling like he does in Edward and Gordon. Also, all the engines are in the exact same order they were in Edward and Gordon as well. This makes a big goof in Thomas and the trucks because the engines switch places in the shed. There's also this shot of Thomas's whistle from Thomas's train. This shot of Gordon was used in Edward, Gordon, and Henry, but was later reused for Thomas in the breakdown train. When James is pulling the trucks in Troublesome Trucks, we see this close-up of the trucks, but this shot was originally used in Thomas and the trucks. This shot of James pushing the coaches into the station was used in James and the Coaches, but was reused in James and the Express. Here's an example of pre-filmed stock footage. As you can see, Thomas is going over the bridge, but if you look really closely, you can see people fishing. This is because this scene was also used in Thomas Goes Fishing. Even though there's no way to tell, this scene was filmed for Thomas and Bertie, but was used way before in Thomas and the Guard. Here's some mirrored stock footage from Thomas's train, which was again used in Thomas and the Guard. This shot of Thomas hurrying along after Henry made him late was used in Thomas and the breakdown train. And this scene in Thomas and the Guard was reused in Thomas Terrence in the Snow. In Thomas and Bertie, this scene was used when Bertie was passing Thomas, but it was originally from Thomas and Gordon. Look, Thomas has won the race. Well, not really, because this scene was originally from Thomas and the Guard, but Thomas was puffing to the same location during this shot, so I guess it makes sense. This is the first episode in the entire series to use stock footage from itself. This scene was shown twice in this episode, one time during the race and one time at the end. This scene in Trouble in the Shed where Sir Topham Hatt is talking to Edward is originally from Thomas's train. Here's another scene that was used twice in the same episode. This scene at the end of Trouble in the Shed was reused for the start of Percy Runs Away. For the longest time, I wondered why Sir Topham Hatt was smiling when he said he was probably most likely going to get rid of Henry because Henry was being sick and stuff. But the reason is because this is stock footage from Troublesome Trucks. This scene from Cole is originally from Edward, Gordon, and Henry. Same with this scene. This is one of the weirdest examples of stock footage ever. It's pre-filmed stock footage, but it wasn't supposed to be. You see, in Cole, Henry has his old shape. But in this one scene, Henry is in his new shape. But in The Flying Kipper, when Henry does get his new shape, there's a scene where he's in his old shape. So they switched the footage by accident, basically. This scene was originally in The Flying Kipper as well, but it was reused in the next episode, Whistles and Sneezes. Now I know Henry's in his old shape again, that's a mistake. I'm guessing they probably were originally going to use this scene for another episode. Presumably Edward, Gordon, and Henry, my guess would be, but who knows. And this scene is originally from Cole, and so is this one. Although not shown in the episode, this scene was originally filmed for Cole, but then used for Thomas in Trouble. This scene in Down the Mine is alternate footage from Thomas and Bertie. This scene is originally from Thomas and the Guard, and this scene is originally from Thomas and Bertie. Now we're getting to the good stuff. So if you didn't know, before the show went into production, in 1983, there was a pilot made, and it was a recreation of the episode Down the Mine. Now, some of the scenes from this pilot have made it into the 1984 Season 1 episode. Now, keep in mind, only one of these scenes was confirmed to be from the original pilot, so the other three are just predictions. Here's the scene that was confirmed. Here are the scenes that are just predictions. In this scene, the signal box behind Annie is the same one from the original pilot. This scene is presumed to be from the pilot because on the board it says, "Engines must not pass this board." But for the rest of the episode, the sign says, "Not past this point." This Sir Topham Hatt differs from the one seen in the episode and for the rest of Season 1, so it is presumed that every scene with this Sir Topham Hatt face is from the pilot. And finally, this scene is presumed to be from the pilot because on this large-scale model of Thomas, his buffers are black, but during Season 1, they're silver. This scene used in Thomas's Christmas party was originally used in Thomas Terrence in the Snow, and this is another reusal of the whistle from Thomas's train. Well, that was all the stock footage from Season 1. I might have missed a few, but I don't really care. Make sure you stay tuned for Season 2 stock footage. Goodbye.